Hello and welcome. My name is Daniel Fabrizio. I'm the founder and president of Sports Insights, and thank you for attending our webinar on the 5 reasons you should bet Jacksonville tonight. I'm sure a lot of people maybe saw that headline and thought, who in their right mind would actually, take Jacksonville tonight? But a lot of the contrarian bettors that are on this call, or on this webinar, will actually, know exactly what we're going to go through and be happy to see some of the signals that we're seeing are really strong in this for this game. So I'll start off with our looking at our live odds page, go into our Sportsbook Insider live odds page and give people access and allow them to look and see how we look at this game and kind of where the trends are coming from. So Indianapolis, Jacksonville, looking at this game specifically, we like to see a nice contrarian play. This is our 80-20 rule it falls for. That's reason number 1. 80-20 home dogs since 2003 are 86-65, which is 57% win percentage with almost 17 units. So all that means to people for units, if you're a $50 bettor, multiply 17 by 50 and you'd figure out how much money you want. Of course, juice is factored in on that. That's probably one of our strongest and most stable of all contrarian betting systems that we offer, and this one fits into it perfectly. What else do we like in this game? The nice reverse line movement. You'll see the game open, say, at Pinnacle at 3.5. I'll go to the line chart on that and show you line history. And you'll clearly see right here it opened at 3.5, and then quickly here's the timestamps. Within an 8-minute time frame, they moved to 3, which is what tells us why is all this action coming in on Indianapolis, and then Jacksonville is actually becoming less of a favorite or less of an underdog, and it's simple because huge money came in, large sharp bettors came in on Jacksonville and pushed that there. Took that extra 3.5, got the hook, and moved it to 3. We like being, of course, with the side, with the smart money, and so we'll take that. And then the second thing is, well, is there still an opportunity? The line has moved to 3. Well, maybe some of that opportunity is gone. And if you clearly see, it hasn't. A lot of books still are hanging 3.5s, very reputable books, 5 Dimes, Heritage. You're even getting 4s at Sports Interaction and Bovada, which is a really nice number. As we know in the NFL, 3 is one of the key numbers. I think it's 15% of all games land on 3, and being able to get off that at 3.5 and really not pay any extra juice, and even get to 4, which is another key number. 6% of all games land on 4, and especially at SIA, you get +4 even money. That is a great line and a great opportunity to still be on the right side of a game in terms of the sharp action, betting against the public, and put yourself in a really good position, if that game does land on 3, to cash it a winner. Let's see, that's probably our 4th point. I probably should number these off, huh? And the 4th point is the NFL Thursday night home dog, which is simply something we found in Bet Labs early in this season. We're sitting around talking about games and how Thursday night, how less preparation teams have for it. So if you play on Sunday, you have 4 days, and the 4th day being the actual game day, to prepare when you're used to a full week of preparation. So that really gives the away team it puts them at a disadvantage because they only have 3 days to actually practice and put in their game plan. So that's about 25% less game preparation than the home team. And so we said, let's see if the data supports this concept. And we went to our Bet Labs. We quickly did how do Thursday night teams do. They overperform. We said, okay, well, how about if they're an underdog? And they even overperform even more. And that's 33-18 since 2004. Yes, the sample size is small. It's a little over 50 games, but still a very one-sided trend. And we've seen it continue this year. That's 33-18. They're plus 14 units, and if you're into the return on investment, that's 23% on your investment, which is pretty nice. The last but not least, the rookie quarterback on the road, Andrew Luck. Well, I guess we also use Bet Labs for this. Kind of the thinking being rookies a little more liable to be swayed by the crowd on the way versus home. Clearly, we've seen this with Andrew Luck. He is 4-1 against the spread at home, but only 1-2 on the road. Yes, it's a small sample size, but it's something we also look at the general trend and just another reason, like, well, there's a nice angle that fits with a lot of what we like. And I guess I'll give the page about it. Let's see. 5 reasons. Here you go. Just to spell them out a little bit more and put it a little more clear. And towards the end of this, I will accept questions. And really, if anybody has anything specifically I said, want to clarify anything, I love talking about sports betting and especially betting against the public and line movements. I'm more than happy to answer those, or even if you want to email us at help@sportsinsights, that's HELP @sportsinsights. You can also use the chat feature that's available in this product. And the 5 reasons are real simple. Again, the NFL 80-20 home dog rule since 2003, 86 and 65. That's a very strong trend. The NFL Thursday night home dog, again, pointing on the same team. Jacksonville home, they get that extra day of preparation, 33 and 18 historically. Reverse line movement, that was when the game line goes against the betting percentages. And let me go back to that and explain that. You see 80% on Indianapolis versus 19, but the game opened at 3.5, as you see at Pinnacle, and right now it's -3. So that's telling us a lot of, again, action, specifically sharp action, came in on Jacksonville, which is, of course, where we like to be. The key number, we can still get 4 out there, or get 3.5 at pretty much any book you want. If you really look at hard, you can get some +4s. There's some great books, even money, and the rookie QB on the road. Andrew Luck is 4-1 against the spread at home, and 1-2 on the road. That to us is some very strong contrarian trends to it. So now, I quickly went through that so I could save a lot of time for the question and answer period and kind of look at this game from any questions that you may have. And then the first one I got is, all right, that's a good one. If the game comes off, the betting percentages actually move off the 80-20, do you still bet this? And that's a huge question we get here a lot. And everything we do is based on the closing line and the closing betting percentages. So if you were the only reason you wanted to bet this game because it fell in the 80-20 home dog scenario, and this game went to 79, then no, I would probably tell you not to stay off it, but there's so many other factors in this game that point to it. The reverse line action, the fact that, again, Thursday night home underdogs have done historically very well. Those are 2 huge signals that still point to the same positive results. And that would still, for my case, if this game did go to 79, I would still bet it. Now, if those other 3 or 4 factors were not kind of pointing in the same direction, I would definitely consider staying off it because the trend is based on closing numbers, not on what happens before that. That's why it's very important to have a live odds page and to get up-to-date information. And even to use the betting percentages that we offer. I'm sure if you went to other sites, and as you can see here, this is the way it's getting bet at the 7 books that we track, sportsbook.com. As 8416, BetUS, Carib, Wagerline, 5 Dimes, SIA, and Chris, all seeing pretty one-sided action. That helps us get a huge sample size, and really all our stats and all our analysis is based on, of course, our own closing numbers and our own closing betting percentages. Just using one of these, a lot of times will put you in a position where you're not getting a smaller sample size than if you looked at 7 different books. So it is nice to have, and it is important. Another question is, why is 5 Dimes so off the market when it comes to this? And that's a great question, and we get it a lot from our Premium and Premium Pro users because you'll see if you do look at 5 Dimes in general, let's look at this other game, Buffalo-New England. Let's see these things pop up. They typically don't move. They're very hard to move their betting percentages. Why? It's a little more balanced action there. It's really hard for me to tell you, but I just can tell you from the data, you'll see a lot more lopsided games at some of these square books who, tend to go with favorites versus a little bit sharper book like 5 Dimes. They'll typically be closer to the 60-40 range. Even 65 is pretty high for them, so they'll drag down the betting percentages a little bit, but there's still something we like to factor in there because they do help us just get a more balanced representation of what's going on in the marketplace. For one of my last questions here is, do we use the betting percentages as the parlay betting percentage column at all when factoring in? And the short answer is yes. It's not directly factored into the analysis I've given to you, but I kind of use it sometimes as a tiebreaker. If I already like this game and this is parlay is very high too, it's kind of a tiebreaker between the two, because that's obviously a very square way to bet the game is through the parlay, and most people will tie that together, and that kind of gives me another signal that yes, it's heading in the right direction, and that's it. Well, I appreciate everybody for taking the time to kind of listen in on this. This is definitely a new thing for us, is to kind of open it up and talk more about sports betting in a webinar format, talk about specific games. This is, if something that you enjoyed, please email us and let us know, or if it's some kind of format that you'd like us to change. It's definitely a work in progress. We'll hopefully maybe do something once a week or on a special topic specific to sports betting. We would love to offer more information. I think one of the things you'll see coming up pretty soon is something on Steam moves, which ones to follow, which ones not to follow. We'll every now and then talk about specific games like this and show people kind of how we look at the market and the tools that we have available to us. But I definitely appreciate everyone coming in and listening to that. And with that, I will end, and have a good day.